You click this video, so I'm assuming that you have run out of mangas to read. But don't worry, we're gonna fix that. I have some good mangas that you will surely love. The first half of this video will be manga series that are already completed, and the other half will compose of ongoing manga series. Also, if you don't have the time to watch this video until the end and is just itching to read some new manga right now, I also put some timestamps at the description about all the manga that I will be recommending, so you might want to check that out. But if you want to hear my thoughts on why I recommended these specific mangas, then feel free to watch until the end. So without further ado, let's begin. If you like Dr. Stone and Sunken Rock, then you will 100% gonna like this first manga series because it's from the same author, Boichi, and this manga is Origin. The story begins with a small Yakuza group who is planning to raid a warehouse to steal this nanotechnology, an advanced material even more amazing than money. One of the members of the group brought up a rumor that there is a non-human being who is living amongst the humans of Tokyo, and he takes on the appearance of a human. Also, some strange corpses were recently discovered with their spine snapped or their head smashed as if it was done by a non-human. It turns out that this non-human being is not just a rumor, and this mysterious man is coming for it. The last member of the Yakuza group arrived holding a brutal woman in his arms on which he leaked the plan to, so they have no choice but to let her come. It turns out that this woman is the rumored non-human, and the mysterious man is the Origin, also a non-human, and his goal is to defeat all the non-humans so he can keep on living properly. Boichi, the author of this manga, seems to like Yakuza story because much like Sunken Rock, who is also an amazing Yakuza story, Origin also starts with a Yakuza team, but it's not really gonna dwell on that concept too much. The main focus of the story is robot fighting robots basically, but as an engineering student myself, I also enjoyed the scientific aspect of the story, some thermodynamics concept here and there which added to the world building of the story. It's already completed with 87 chapters, so you can finish it rather quickly. Also, this is Boichi we're talking about, so you can expect some god tier manga panels and jaw-dropping visuals. His art style is just so gorgeous looking, so you should check Origin and all of his works. The next manga is Ako no Kyoten or Lesson of the Evil. It has 34 chapters and is already completed. The story is about Mr. Hasumi, a popular, young, and good-looking teacher at an elite high school who is the homeroom teacher of class 2-4 where all the problematic students gather. His main goal is to create the perfect class and lead the students to success, but when things get out of hand, he resorts to these unconventional and illegal ways while also trying to hide his dark past and homicidal urges. This seems like a very wholesome story about teacher-student relationship on the surface. You know, teacher consultations and such, but it gets dark. Way dark than you could ever imagine it to be. You can see it slowly sinking into darkness and it's so beautiful to watch. If you're a fan of fucked up shits, then this one's for you. The third manga on the list is The Godslike. It only has 5 chapters. A quick read. This manga is one of my favorites, so I want to share it with you. It's about the story of 2 classmates, Natsuru and Zuzumura, who live together for a whole summer break. It's a cute story about childhood love and family. It's not a grandiose story. It's simple yet heartbreaking. Later in the story, you will find out about the circumstances around Zuzumura's family and why is she living alone in their house with his younger brother. I don't want to spoil the story, so I'm going to stop here, but please give this one a read. Congratulations! You are one of the 1 in 100,000 people who has been entered in the amazing Liar Game tournament. Along with the postcard, there is a 100 million yen in notes. When the game ends in 30 days, you will have to return your 100 million. If your opponent steals them, you can keep them as a prize and you will have a debt of 100 million. What would you do if you got a letter like that? Are you gonna report it to the police or maybe consult a lawyer? Or are you gonna play along with the game and try to win that 100 million? This is Liar Game. It's from the creators of One Out, so you can expect some high-level mind games. In this story, we're gonna follow this young girl named Nao Kansaki who's chosen to be a player in the Liar Game tournament, but was fooled by his former teacher who is her opponent on this round of Liar Game. She sought the help of a con artist named Shinichi Akiyama, who is called the Genius Swindler, and together they're gonna take back that 100 million that Nao Kansaki lost. Like I said earlier, this is a story about deception, psychological warfare, and mind games. If you like Kakegurui or Kaiji, then you will surely love Liar Game. Just don't be bothered by the art style and you're good to go. Would you believe if someone say to you that there is a shop where you can sell your lifespan? That is the main theme of this particular manga called I Sold Off My Lifespan for 10,000 yen a year. It is created by Shouchi Taguchi with only 16 chapters and is already completed. The story is about a man who is barely living his life. He has a part-time job but that alone can support his living expenses, so he resorts on selling his books and CDs or everything that can be sold just to earn money. One day, he went to a bookstore to sell his books and the old man there recommended this place where you can sell your lifespan. Of course, that's absurd and that old man must be joking, so he paid it no mind. He then went to a CD store where he sold his prized CD collection and the clerk also recommended this place that buys your lifespan. Wandering around, he finds himself at the front of the building where they can apparently sell your lifespan. He checks the place and he was greeted by this woman and asks him if he wants to sell his time, his health, or his lifespan. This is like straight out of a morality lesson back in school where your teacher asks you how much does a human life worth. The story has an interesting take about how to calculate the monetary value of a person's remaining life. According to the place where you can sell your lifespan in this story, it is evaluated by how happy a life it is, how it makes others happy, how many dreams are achieved, how much it contributes to society, and so on. If you're interested in existentialism and a human's worth and how to properly live your life, then you should check this one out. Those are the 5 completed manga series that I will be recommending to you. They are all good stories and I personally like all of them, that's why I'm recommending them to you, so please check them out. These next 5 manga will be mangas that are ongoing and here they are. Number 6 on the list is Blue Lock by Kaneshiro Muneyuki. The story begins with Japan's elimination from the 2018 FIFA World Cup, which prompts the Japanese Football Union to start a program scouting high school players who will begin training in preparation for the 2022 Cup. Isagi Yuuichi, a forward, receives an invitation to this program soon after his team loses the chance to go to nationals because he passed to his less skilled teammate who missed without trying to make the game-changing goal by himself. Their coach will be Igo Junpachi, who intends to destroy Japanese loser football by introducing a radical new training regimen. Isolate 300 young forwards in a prison-like institution called Blue Lock and put them through rigorous training aimed at creating the world's greatest egotist striker. That synopsis encapsulated the essence of Blue Lock perfectly. This is a sports manga about football but with an outstanding twist which really defined itself compared to other sports manga out there. It's fresh, entertaining as hell, and very believable because the stakes are high. If you lose, you leave Blue Lock and all your dreams of becoming a football player is gone. It is a cutthroat competition where it feels like you're in a survival manga of sorts. The art and the visuals are also top-notch. Every time a new chapter releases, I can't wait to read it because that's how good it is. As a guy who likes sports anime and manga, I can proudly say that Blue Lock is a well-written, hype-as-shit sports manga that needs all the attention it gets because it's just that good. Next on the list is Saihate no Paladin or The Faraway Paladin. It's originally a web novel that is adapted as a light novel and lastly as a manga series. It is written by Kanata Yanagino and the manga was adapted by Mutsumi Okuhashi. In a city of the dead, long since ruined and far from human civilization, lives a single human child. His name is Will, and he is being raised by 3 undead: the hearty skeletal warrior Blood, the graceful mummified priestess Mary, and the spectral sorcerer Goose. Born with vague memories of a past life, William must discover what circumstances brought him to this city and these people, as well as what it means to not just exist, but to live a full life. This is technically an isekai manga, but it doesn't really dwell on that concept that much, so we can just say that this is a fantasy manga. I love the character dynamics between the 3 undead that serves as family to Will. You can see that they've been through some horrifying events in the past, that's why they are so fun to Will, and you can really see that they love the child. At first, you have no idea where the story will take its place, but as the story progresses, all the preparations, the study sessions, and the prayers that the 3 undead were teaching to will eventually make sense. But I think the greatest strength of this manga is its world-building aspect because after the first story arc, Will eventually explore the world and learn to live among the humans, not just with the 3 undead that he grew up with. Next is Blue Period by Yamaguchi Tsubasa. This particular manga recently got some awards. It is the winner of the 13th Manga Taisho Award of 2020, and it also won the 44th Kodansha Awards for Best General Manga in 2020. So you can expect that this one is good, which I can proudly say that it is. Let's proceed to its synopsis. In his second to last year of high school, the dispassionate but studious Yatora Yaguchi finally finds a calling in art. With no prior art experience, he decides to work towards applying to an art university, a decision with potentially disastrous results. Yaguchi, the main protagonist, is very relatable in the sense that he is dispassionate about almost everything but is still doing his job as a student, like any other student there is, but eventually found his calling in art, which every one of us wishes to happen with our lives, by finally finding our calling in life. I think Yaguchi's story teaches us that it's never too late to try out things that makes you happy and is passionate about. That it doesn't matter if you have no prior experience about something because you can learn and be good at it if you just dedicate a lot of time practicing and doing the work. But so much about the team, let's talk about the other aspects of Blue Period. First off, the character designs are very unique. The art style is very distinct and has its own personality. The lighting in this manga really accentuates every panel so it feels alive. The paintings don't feel like normal drawings but actual paintings that you can see in real life. It's evident that the author knows what he is doing and spends a lot of time on research. I will not be surprised if the author actually attended an art school because he is well versed on everything art. I can go on and on about all the things that I like about Blue Period, but I'm gonna stop here. I'll let you experience Blue Period on your own and be amazed on how stunning this manga is. Seriously, give it a read. Until this point, I've only talked about mangas that can be considered as masterpieces by many, but I think it's time to recommend a manga to cater for the degenerates inside us. This manga is called Please Put This On, Takamine-san. Ah yes, I like it when the title speaks for itself. The story is about the student council president, Takamine-san, who is at the topmost of the school hierarchy, a goddess. One day, Shirota-kun accidentally sees Takamine-san's naked breasts. From then, his school lives change, blackmailed into a life of servitude toward Takamine-san. Put my panties on for me. Shirota has ended up in a predicament of Takamine-san's pink-colored favors. Takamine-san, the main heroine in the story, actually has a superpower. She can turn back time by removing one of his underwear. And every time she does this, Shirota-kun needs to change her underwear for her. Do you see how genius this is? I'm not gonna expand on this because I want you to experience it for yourself. The only thing that I can say is, you're welcome. This is the last manga series that I will be recommending to you all, and this one is easily one of the greats for me. It's a sports manga called Rikudou. I am a big fan of sports anime and manga. The best sports anime of all time for me is Hajime no Ippo, so if I watch or read another boxing anime or manga, I always compare it to Hajime no Ippo. You know that boxing anime recently called Megalobox? That one is pure shit compared to Hajime no Ippo. Rikudou is also a boxing manga, so of course I can't help but to compare it to Hajime no Ippo. But this one actually measures up. That's how good this sports manga is. This is the synopsis. Riku experienced a lot of pain and tragedy in his early life. After his father's death, a former boxer Yakuza man taught him how to do a basic punch. And that punch saved his life when he had to defend himself from his mom's drug dealer. He ended up taking the drug dealer's life, marking him as a killer. Criminals continued to come after him, leading to more tragedy for the people who attempted to care for him. All of this drove him to ask that same former boxer to teach him to become stronger, which led him to a rundown gym, his door to the world of pro boxing. The best word that describes this manga is raw, but the good kind of raw. The story, the art style, the struggles, everything about this manga is very raw. It looks and feels rough and it makes you feel on edge every time you're reading it. If you are a fan of sports manga, then Rikudou is one of the best in my opinion and you don't want to miss this. So yeah, those are the 10 mangas that I think you should read. If you want me to make another manga recommendation video just like this, then just comment it down below. I have many good mangas to recommend to y'all, but this is it for now. I'm Villain in Glasses and stay degenerate. Bye!